Welcome, students, to a pivotal chapter in our history. Today, we journey through the Vietnam War and the transformative 1970s, a decade that redefined the American experience. The causes of U.S. involvement in Vietnam were complex, rooted in a desire to curb the spread of communism during the Cold War. The Gulf of Tonkin incident, a disputed confrontation at sea, led to the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution, granting President Lyndon B. Johnson broad military powers in Southeast Asia. The draft began in 1965, igniting a firestorm of protest across the nation. Young men, compelled to fight a war many did not believe in, sought refuge in deferments, while others took to the streets in opposition. The Tet Offensive of 1968 marked a turning point, with North Vietnamese forces launching widespread attacks. Though militarily unsuccessful, it struck a psychological blow, fueling anti-war sentiment and eroding public support for the conflict. As the war dragged on, President Nixon initiated Vietnamization, aiming to transfer combat roles to South Vietnamese forces and begin the withdrawal of U.S. troops. The war culminated in the fall of Saigon in 1975, a moment that marked the end of a contentious chapter in American and Vietnamese history. President Nixon's appeal to the silent majority sought to rally those Americans who supported the war effort but did not publicly demonstrate, hoping to gain broader support for his policies. The 26th Amendment, ratified in 1971, lowered the voting age to 18, empowering a generation and solidifying their role in shaping the nation's future. The legacy of the Vietnam War era is one of courage, controversy, and change. It serves as a poignant reminder of the power of the people, the cost of war, and the enduring quest for peace. Eisenhower's domino theory painted a picture of a world where the fall of one could lead to the collapse of many. This fear propelled the U.S. into the jungles of Vietnam, determined to halt the advance of communism. In a move of strategic brilliance, Nixon's ping-pong diplomacy paved the way for his landmark meeting with Mao Zedong. It was a handshake that shifted the Cold War balance, opening doors to China and altering the global chessboard. Title IX marked a victory for equality, leveling the playing field in sports and education. It was more than a law. It was a leap towards gender equity, inspiring generations to come. The oil embargo of 1973 sent shockwaves through the nation, igniting inflation and fueling a quest for energy independence. It was a crisis that blurred the lines between foreign policy and the American home. Watergate, a scandal that would define a presidency and erode public trust. Nixon's resignation left a chasmic gap in credibility, widening the divide between the people and their government. The Iran-Contra affair further deepened this divide, revealing a tangled web of secrecy and international intrigue. It was a chapter that questioned the very integrity of leadership. The Gulf of Tonkin incident granted presidents near unlimited power to wage war without Congress's formal declaration, a precedent that would shape American military policy for decades. Bruce Lee, a name synonymous with martial arts excellence, shattered stereotypes and redefined the image of Asian Americans in media, leaving a legacy of cultural pride and inspiration. The Community Reinvestment Act of 1977 sought to break down barriers, fostering equality in homeownership and revitalizing communities across the nation. Vietnam War-era songs captured the heart of a generation, echoing their cries for peace and shaping the soundtrack of the anti-war movement. Japanese baseball, a testament to cultural diffusion, illustrates how sports can transcend borders, blending traditions and passions across the Pacific. Betty Friedan's The Feminine Mystique became a catalyst for the women's movement, advocating for equal rights and opportunities, and inspiring women to seek more than the societal roles prescribed to them. As we close the book on the Vietnam War and the 1970s, we carry forward the lessons of resilience, advocacy, and the enduring quest for equality. These stories are not relics of the past, but beacons for our future.